Good evening and welcome. I am Amarachi Ubani. Tonight, a new twist in Bayelsa political drama as Federal High Court rules that the APC has no candidates in Saturday's governorship election. A party obtained stay of execution of order from Abuja Court. President Buhari calls for fairness and transparency in Bayelsa and Kogi state governorship elections. Challenges security officials to be non-partisan during the polls. Kidnapped Justice of the Appeal Court in Benin City, Justice Chioma Nwosu-Iheme, regains freedom after spending 2 weeks with her abductors. And a ceasefire between Israel and militants in Gaza holds amid continued launch of rocket fire.
On business news tonight, Nigeria to set up a joint border patrol force with Benin and Niger in efforts aimed at tackling smuggling around the country's borders.
And on sports news tonight, Olaolu Olatunde of Temple College, Ikeja, and Alimot Alowonle of Tundip College, Ikorodu, emerged the most decorated athletes at the 2019 Channels Track and Field Championships.
And from Abuja, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo meets with co-founder of the global e-commerce giant Alibaba Group, Jack Ma, who is visiting Nigeria to explore business opportunities in the country.
A federal high court sitting in Yenagoa today declared that the All Progressives Congress in Bayelsa State does not have a flag bearer. Justice Jane Iyang, in her ruling, held that the party did not follow the laid-down guidelines for conducting primaries. Senator Haniken Lukobiri had approached the court seeking to be declared winner of the APC primaries, and his counsel describes the judgment as strange, as it did not address the prayer of his client.
It's a judgment on the conduct of the All Progressives Congress governorship candidate that has completely taken all the stakeholders, both the prosecution and defense, by surprise. Justice Jane Iyang of the Federal High Court has ruled that the APC does not have a flag bearer for the November the 16th election in Bayelsa. For counsel to Senator Heineken Lukobiri, who approached the court seeking to have his client declared winner of the APC primaries, it's a strange verdict.
The court said the primaries of the All Progressives Congress conducted for the governorship elections in Bayelsa State on the 4th of September were not conducted in accordance with the guidelines and constitution of the party.
But was that one of your prayers?
Was not.
So, isn't that strange?
Well, I want to borrow your word. It's strange.
We were shocked that, the court, having resolved all the issues in favor of us, went ahead to nullify, the primary, which is very unfortunate. So I have consulted with my lawyers. We are going on appeal, to the Court of Appeal. And the lawyers have also filed a motion for stay, of execution.
Counsel to the APC flag bearer, whose legitimacy was being challenged, is equally dissatisfied with the judgment, describing it as a legal travesty.
We, on our part, as lawyers, are going to take steps known to law. We definitely, vehemently, are going to challenge the outcome of this judgment delivered today. And as we speak, we are in the registry and we are taking the necessary steps known to law.
In spite of the judgment, the Minister of State for Petroleum, who is also the leader of the APC in Bayelsa, appeals for calm while encouraging party supporters to vote for the party on Saturday.
I keep advising that violence should have no place in election. Everybody knows in Bayelsa and across Nigeria today that APC does not need violence to win election because we have the numbers. We have the people.
With both parties in the suit heading to the appeal court, The drama is not over yet regarding the position of the APC flag bearer in the governorship election of Saturday, November the 16th.
It is, however, not over as the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has granted stay of execution on the court order that nullified the Bayelsa State's All Progressives Congress governorship primaries that produced Mr. David Lyon as its candidate for the November 16 poll. The leader of the APC in Bayelsa State and Minister of Petroleum, again, Mr. Timothy Silva, who spoke at a press conference in Yenagoa, the state capital, on the stay of execution order, asked party supporters to stand firm.
The appeal court in Abuja has just granted a stay of execution. That means we are fully, as a party, in the position of contesting this election just as we want to contest this election. Because we know that the people of Bayelsa are behind us, and we know that if there is an election today, free and fair election in Bayelsa today, we will win.
Meanwhile, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Mr. Adams Oshomole, says the party is still in the Bayelsa governorship race as the judgment sacking its candidate, David Lyon, cannot stand. Addressing the news conference in Abuja, Mr. Adams Oshomole says the party has obtained a stay of execution against the judgment. He appealed to the people of Bayelsa to remain resolute and maintain their position to peacefully vote out the People's Democratic Party on Saturday, November 16th. The People's Democratic Party's governorship candidate in Bayelsa State, Senator Doye Diri, has asked party members to refrain from possible reprisals following the crisis in Nembe local government area. Mr. Diri, who was speaking at a media chat in Yenagoa, also reacted to the judgment of a federal high court sitting in Yenagoa that declared the APC candidates disqualified. The PDP governorship candidates asked the APC to put their mutual differences aside and work with him to ensure that the interests of Bayelsans are met.
As a party that stands by the rule of law, we have refrained all our members from any reprisal attack. However, we are calling on all the security agencies that justice must be served on that particular incident and on those who carried out that dastardly act. For us in PDP, even our brothers in APC, we are still calling on them and appealing to them to see the interest of Bayelsa as an interest above their personal interests. It is a brotherly affair, and it shouldn't be a fratricidal war.
Staying with the upcoming polls, the president has called for fairness and transparency in Saturday's governorship elections in Bayelsa and in Kogi states. In a statement, President Muhammadu Buhari also challenged voters in both states to exercise their franchise in a peaceful and orderly manner, while asking law enforcement officials to allow the voters exercise their franchise without harassment and intimidation. He, however, urged the security agents to resist any attempts to hijack ballots using all legal means, while displaying exemplary conduct of non-partisanship during the exercise. The president condemned what he described as uninspiring incidents of violence and intemperate use of language in the campaigns by the political parties in the state. In his words, in all democratic elections, there are bound to be winners and losers, and the elections in Bayelsa and Kogi will not be different. All candidates should be ready to accept the outcome, and wherever they are dissatisfied, they should follow the due process of the law in seeking redress. He wished the two states a safe and credible exercise as they vote in what he termed a historical and suspense-filled election.
Hey, look at that. This way. I just came down. How you doing? I do well, thank you. Yeah, you beat me to it. Please come on. Morning, come on, Father.
We're looking at moments earlier today when the United States Consul General to Nigeria, Ms. Claire Pierangelo, paid a courtesy visit to Channels Television's headquarters in Lagos. Ms. Pierangelo, alongside Mr. Russell Brooks, the public affairs officer at the consulate in Lagos, and some other staff of the consular office, met with the chairman and CEO of Channels Media Group, Dr. John Momo. The U.S. Consul General and Mr. Momo discussed the immense role of the media in nation building and the role of Channels Television as a leading network in strengthening Nigeria's democratic process. Meanwhile, Ms. Pierangelo spoke exclusively to Channels Television's political correspondent on the Bayelsa and Kogi elections, emphasizing the role of the United States in helping Nigeria's democratic process.
Will be depending on what the action is.
But the body language of the United States government towards, because your interest is to strengthen the democratic process in the country. So for those who are with bad behaviors, this hate speech and all of that, what is the stand of the government on the United States government, especially when it comes to entry into the United States?
Well, again, I don't want to speculate on what consequences might be, but there will be consequences that those are verified. Anyone who is verified as having participated in any of those actions we just talked about, whether voter intimidation, vote buying, or inciting to violence or violence itself, there'll be consequences, and that's something we're going to have to consider. What is the appropriate response? In a successful democracy, elections are free, they're fair, they're transparent, and they're peaceful. They have to be participation by the vast majority of the citizens. And that means making sure that all citizens feel safe and confident to go out and exercise their right to vote. Anything that a government can do, it should do to support that basic premise. So, I mean, that's really it. How do you encourage participation? You make it safe for people to come out of their house. How do you encourage free and fair, transparent elections? You ensure that your election monitors and your election officials can work in a safe manner and that are not subject to political or other types of intimidation.
And ahead of Saturday's governorship poll, Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai today went on his knees, appealing to the people of Kogi State to come out en masse to vote Governor Yahaya Bello for a second term. Governor El-Rufai was among the leaders of the ruling All Progressives Congress at the party's mega campaign rally for the re-election of Governor Bello at the Lokoja Township Stadium in the state capital.
APC! APC!
It's less than 2 hours to the end of campaigns ahead of the governorship election in Kogi State, and the ruling All Progressives Congress is ensuring massive sensitization with the mega campaign rally at the Lokoja Township Stadium in the state capital. Present here are the wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, the wife of the vice president, APC chieftains led by its national chairman Adams Oshomole, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, and APC state governors, among others.
With the crowd was here, we are indeed rest assured.
For Governor Yahaya Bello, his administration has united the people of Kogi State by drastically reducing ethnic division. He calls on them to defend their votes on election day.
Come out in your PVC. Go out there and vote. Cast your vote, protect your vote, escort your vote, and let your vote be counted until victory is announced.
For everyone that the governor has offended, I am asking all of you to forgive him. He is young. He is supposed to make mistakes. When you are young, you make mistakes, but you learn from them. On his behalf, I am kneeling down to beg all of you to forgive Yahaya Bello if he has offended you. But he cares about the people of Kogi State. You must all come out and support him. I beg you all.
The APC National Chairman Adams Oshomole applauds Governor Bello's developmental strides while calling on Kogi people to vote for the ruling party.
The election of Saturday will be determined by PVC, not by bullets. It will be driven by voters, not by those who are carrying guns. APC is for peace, and peace will reign.
The wife of the president, who is visiting the state for the first time, asked the people to vote for the incumbent governor.
My husband used to emphasize on salaries. It took a while before the Kogi salaries to get settled, salary payments to get settled, after a long time of verification. But this time, vote for him for continuity of payment of salary on time.
On Saturday, November the 16th, the people of Kogi State will make a decision on who leads them for another 4 years, and the APC in the state says it is the better option.
In part two, after the break, more on the unfolding political drama in Bayelsa State. Plus, Nigeria Air Force says its air swap